In this work, we proposed a novel approach, generative localization with uncertainty estimation through video CT data for bronchoscopic biopsy. This work is collaborated between Hamlin Centre, Imperial College London, and Oxford Robotics Institute, University of Oxford. Lung cancer is now the leading cause of cancer-related death worldwide, and an efficient early diagnosis is in high demand. The bronchoscopic biopsy is an emerging technology for lung cancer diagnosis staging. During the bronchoscopic procedure, the physician needs to estimate the intraoperative position and orientation of the scope through the intraoperative 2D image from camera in the coordinates of the preoperative 3D CT scan. Most existing methods achieve this by registering 2D videos with 3D CT models according to a defined similarity metric with local features. Instead, we formulate the bronchoscopic localization as a learning-based global localization using deep neural networks. The images from bronchoscope go through the deep neural network, and then a predicted 6DOF pose of bronchoscope with the corresponding uncertainty can be visualized in the 3D CT model for the physician to assist endobronchial intervention. The proposed network consists of two generative architectures and one auxiliary learning component, which can not only predict the global pose, but also estimate the corresponding uncertainty of each prediction. The cycle generative architecture bridges the domain variance between the real bronchoscopic videos and virtual views derived from preoperative CT data so that the proposed approach can be trained through a large number of generated virtual images but deployed through real images. Here is the pipeline of proposed domain transfer between the real RGB image and the CT depth. We developed a virtual camera system in order to capture a huge number of CT depth images from the 3D CT scan. The CT depth can be further transformed to virtual RGB image via VTK rendering. A cycle GAN-like architecture is employed to bridge the domain variance between the real RGB image and the virtual RGB image in order to make the deep model trained on virtual images and deployable on real images. Here are examples of the generated virtual RGB images through domain transfer learning. First row, real RGB images from bronchoscope. Second row, generated virtual RGB images by neural network. Third row, CT depths from virtual camera. Fourth row, virtual RGB images rendered by VTK. Auxiliary learning, which leverages the complementary relative pose regression to constrain the search space of global pose regression, is employed to alleviate the non-unique image reading problem. To be specific, the proposed network is a dual-stream architecture including a global pose regression stream and a relative pose regression stream. The predicted 3D trajectories for the 5 testing sequences are plotted in this figure. It can be seen the green trajectories predicted by the localization network closely follow the red ground truth trajectories calibrated from the readings of M-tracker for each sequence. The quantitative results of the localization accuracy are shown in Table 1 for each testing sequence and Table 2 for the ablation analysis. The average positional error and angular error of sequences 1 to 5 are 1.64 mm and 10.69 degree respectively. The overall positional error and angular error of all the sequences are 1.49 mm and 10.81 degree respectively. According to Table 1, the performance of the proposed localization network is superior to the conventional geometry registration method, which suffers from sudden tracking failures. Furthermore, it can be observed from Table 2 that the auxiliary learning makes the main contribution to the performance improvement. The variational inference also slightly improves the performance as well as estimates the uncertainty of each prediction. The variational inference rooted in Bayesian inference is employed to estimate the uncertainty of each global pose prediction. It can model the probability distribution of the observation as a variational distribution in the latent variable space so that the prediction can be made by marginalizing the estimated posteriori. We propose an assumption that the uncertainty is proportional to the localization error, i.e. the predicted global pose with higher uncertainty should have a larger localization discrepancy, and vice versa. The statistical results of the positional offsets against positional uncertainties and the angular offsets against rotational uncertainties are shown in this figure. It can be observed that as the positional and angular uncertainties increase, the positional and angular geometry errors also generally increase in each sequence, which can verify the proposed assumption at the beginning.
We provide one demonstrations using the virtual video CT data. The virtual image is captured from the virtual camera and the 3D global map is generated from real 3D CT scan. Green line, trajectory from neural network. Red line, trajectory from M-tracker. Green ellipse, uncertainty from neural network. We further provide three demonstrations using the real video CT data. The real image is captured from the bronchoscope and the 3D global map is generated from real 3D CT scan. Green line, trajectory from neural network. Red line, trajectory from M-tracker. Green ellipse, uncertainty from neural network. In summary, our novel contributions are 1. As the domain variance is bridged by the domain transfer learning, the proposed localization network can be trained through virtual data but deployed on the real data. 2. An auxiliary learning architecture can constrain the search space of global pose prediction to guarantee consistent predictions. 3. The deep variational regression can estimate the predictive uncertainties through sampling within the learned underlying probability distribution. To the best of our knowledge, this is the first learning-based localization with uncertainty estimation for the bronchoscopic localization. Our next step work will investigate how to deploy the proposed method in real clinical workflows. Thanks for your attention.